staff and CAO written reports. Could I have a motion, please?
Councillor Stenhouse.
That council receive the CAO's, Brian Martinson's written report and action list for information.
Turning it over to the CAO.
Okay, just to let council know, I didn't attend the MMSA Municipal Services Agency annual board member. Councillor attended in the meeting, Councillor Gilroy. Anyways, it's been a busy last couple of days. Anyways, I've been attending meetings at the county and the funeral today, the celebration of life for Rodney Stewart. So it's all been good. Very busy with now that the audit's done and that should have a little bit more breathing room. I just want to let council know also that we're going to bring Noel in the summertime here. He's found some ways that we can speed the process up. So in the long run, his time here will be a lot faster if he can set up spreadsheets and that and show the staff how to do that stuff for the information that he's collecting as the auditors. So he's going to come in June and spend a couple, 3 days with each department. So other than that, any questions?
Any questions for the CAO on his action report? Councillor Gilroy.
Actually, I want to thank our CAO for putting together or allowing us to put together the marijuana survey that was at the gun show. I think it's a very important part since we have just passed a public engagement policy that we were doing that, and I know that I've heard a number of comments about it this week already. One that someone's wished it would go on our Facebook, and another said that they'd like it to, like another paper copy to be sent out if possible by with one of the bills or something like that, because they really appreciated the fact that we asked them, and they appreciated the fact that we were not telling them. This went toward me, by the way, not to you guys, but we were not telling them which way to answer it, but we were more responsible in asking them and showing them that their dollars were going to important things, and we weren't just making decisions without them. So they really valued that, and I thank you for the leadership that you took, Brian, in making sure it was available to the people who did respond.
Thank you.
Councillor Long.
What were the results from the survey?
That was email.
Yeah, they were emailed to us.
Didn't look.
The only results that we received was a very quick count, and there was about 90 responses, and it was from both inside the town and outside, but I'm not sure, they'll probably look into it a little later, but what we did is, or I should say what our CAO did is, the first question was, are you a shop owner or an owner of a store? Which is important because they felt they needed more say in what happens in town. Were you a resident? And if not, where are you from? Which would mean Big Lakes County or other areas. And that wasn't really determined. It was more or less in town, as far as I understood. And so it was, there was and then we asked a wonderful question of, where do you want it, or do you want it?
Hours of operation.
And then hours of operation. There's 4 questions, and people found that be pretty good. It got them thinking too. And so they, once again, some of them were shocked that we were asking, but the 4 questions I think were well designed. And actually, it was a motion of or a request actually of our bylaw committee, because we will be having to work on 2 or 3 of them that have to do with that. And so it's nice to know that people will have a say in helping shape the future for their kids, one way or the other.
Councillor Courtly, you have the results.
I do, yeah. Total survey completed, there was 89 completed. In favor was 56, not in favor was 33. So of the 56 in favor, 33 that were in town and 23 were from out of town, and not in favor, there was 5 in town not in favor and 28 out of town. So 56 to 33 of 89 surveyed.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions on, from the CAO on his report and action list? Councillor Rose?
Just 2 quick questions about the action list, and probably this is coming up soon, but we had talked about, one of the items is the software that we had wanted to get back in March. Did we get anywhere with that?
No, we're looking in on it right now, and we'll be doing up the RFP right away. But the prices they vary a lot between companies, so.
Yeah, we had done a little bit of research 2 years ago when we first looked into it, and not very many companies that scale it down to small.
Yeah.
So they're usually like bigger because they're bigger companies that
Yeah.
want to do it for big municipalities or, right? So I think there was a couple that did the smaller scale.
There's 2 that I've talked to and done demos with, and one is in our budget, and the other one has cut some stuff out to maybe make that budget.
And so is it still the company that we originally had the demo from, is still on budget kind of thing?
Yeah.
And that leads me to the next one, because that company still offers website, because the next thing that we were asking for, and I wonder where you guys were at, was, and again, even more now, the more I hear from people moving to areas and researching areas and looking at areas, they're looking at websites, right? So
Yeah.
it's kind of a priority in my mind that we get on that.
We were talking about that this morning and yesterday, and I'm waiting to talk to Jessica from the county. She's going to help me figure out an RFP and get some ideas from her. So we're working on it.
Thanks. Councillor Gilroy?
2 items that are on your action list. This would be page 132. Both of them are on it. One is from the December 5th, 2017 meeting that we direct administration to request the Traffic Coalition to check on the possible grants for the crosswalk at the skate park. I want to know what that, if we could have administration get a response from our peace officers, since I'm not sure next time they're here. But along with that, I would, since it is to do with the peace officer, I would still I'd like a follow-up on what's happening with the traffic button in the corner there that does not flash, that you're not allowed to walk, right at the corner here. And the one by High Prairie Elementary School that we've been asking for quite a long time, that is just a solid button, it does not work, and our children basically have to wait for a green light. They do not have a light on that. So if you could check,
I contacted Rodney Johnson after the last meeting about them, and basically what he told me is that's a specialized group that they bring in to do the repairs on them, and he said once when they're back in, he's made note of both of them. So
the other thing, actually, it's more toward Chief Melnick. You're on here. I'm sorry. It says here, December 12th, that we were going to forward the request to purchase saunas in the shower for the fire department to the budget deliberations. However, there's a note here that says Fire Chief Melnick will be attending the April 11th meeting of the council meeting in Big Lakes County. Were you able to attend? And if you could share a response, we'd appreciate that.
I was advised that I didn't have to attend, but it went to council and it was approved, so we did get permission to use that money. So.
That would be we had asked you if you could use I think it was motor vehicle money or something, or the combined money. So do you need a motion from us as well to release all the money?
I think this was already approved here, wasn't it? Yes. Yeah. So it was already approved here as long as it was approved at the county, and the county did approve it. So.
Good, nice to see that we're going to have a lot more benefits that will keep our firefighters safer from all the potential harm they could have from all the smoke and that.
Any other comments or questions to the CAO? Seeing none, we have a motion to accept. All in favor? Carried. Written and verbal reports. For myself, I have no report. Councillor Gilroy.
A couple of notices from meetings I was at. An unofficial one that we were invited to but was not formally put on our agenda was going to the Dene Games at St. Andrews. And the winner of that, which was for the Senior League, which I actually, unfortunately, I wasn't in for the entire time, but thank you, Chris. I read it in the newspaper today. Will be the our St. Andrews will be represented at the powwow on the 5th. So let's go, Saints. And if there are any other, obviously any other of the schools that want to let us know that we can encourage them as a town council, because we are very pro-youth here. Secondly, both Councillor Stenhouse and I went to the Watershed 101 in Slave Lake. And of course, one of the big things that they were looking for our town to help with, including volunteers, has to do with riparian work. And so I brought back some nice stuff for us to leave. If you want to look at it, it'll be available hopefully in the town office. Some stuff to do with riparian, which will, I know they're looking for volunteers too, which people can talk to Megan, or they can talk to Kaylin about volunteering when the weather gets better, so that they can then, once again, be able to improve the watershed. So the volunteers of this town will be a great job there. In fact, we even had a young lady there, I think she was grade 9 from St. Andrews, who'd done water stuff, and it was very good. I was very impressed with the county, the Reeve, and at least 2 councillors came, and it was very well attended in Slave Lake. And so a very important meeting, and I think it was well worth our time there. As well, just I promised you an update before. I'm just going to read the what I was sent by the Community Health and Wellness Clinic, the committee that deals with a walk-in clinic, and this is actually for public consumption. And so let me just hit a couple highlights here on our meeting that I was at. Dr. Catherine Olabolo has started at the clinic in March, and Dr. Osa Iziko was returning from his anesthetic training mid-April, April 13th. In June 2018, we will have another doctor, Dr. Gleam Gill. I don't know a lot about him, but he will be starting sometime in June, finalizing all that. And our communication working group was working with AHS, community members, Town of High Prairie, and Big Lakes in hopes of having all health information for High Prairie and area in one central spot on a website for public awareness and use. And that included, as Councillor Rose talked about, our website, how important it is. The county and the town, in a sense, unofficially agreed that we'd like to have the same information. So if you're looking at the county or the town, you will see what's available there. And we're still working on how to make sure that it is as up-to-date as possible. We need one more additional community member, and I'm saying this to everyone listening. On the community team, we have 4 current patients of the walk-in clinic, and we now only have 3 of them. So they are looking for a 4th patient who can meet during the day, once a month or once every other month in the fall, to then help give some advice from the community on how to improve that particular clinic and healthcare in general in our community. As well, there will be an obstetric services community information session planned for May 14th from 2 to 8. And when I get more information, I will pass that on to you, as well as they're preparing for the 1st anniversary of the walk-in clinic. So that's just a couple of items the things I did. Obviously, I think almost all of us were at the gun show, so that's I think I had a really good time. I enjoyed there and working with the watershed people as well. Got to meet a lot of wonderful people from our community, and I can't remember all the other meetings I was at, but it was a very busy month for me. I move my report for acceptance, please. I even said please, Michael.
Any questions? I just have one, and it's more related. Like, I don't know if your community health committee that you're part of, do you know or can you find out what is happening to that leather mural that was in the old hospital? Is it moving to the new hospital, or do you know?
I would probably say that is more something that you would have to talk to the site manager about, because the site manager has more input on what happens altogether there, because that is a site issue of where you would put it. I know that right now there are all sorts of changes going on in AHS. A lot of it to do with infection control, so you will not be seeing as much sort of pamphlets around and things like that. And even in the waiting room, you will not see as much paper that can be transferred from one to another. They'll be using electronic signs more than anything else, just for infection control. So that's what I'm saying. The changes like that, probably you're looking at the site manager.
And who is the site manager?
And
What's her
that'd be
name?
Olive Sonico.
Olive, that's it.
She would be the one I would expect to say that, but I can pass that motion, or that I can write an email and ask the person in charge of my particular group if anything has been done on that.
Okay, perfect, thank you. Any other questions for Councillor Gilroy? Okay, all in favor to accept his verbal report? Councillor Long?
I have no report this time.
Mayor Panasic is away. Councillor Courtley?
Just a quick note, had a meeting today, the ICF meeting at the county, so there'll be information coming forward with that, on more development on how to continue on, so that, and and enjoyed the gun show. It really was. Be able to, I think it's a positive for us to have that booth there and to be able to talk to everybody coming through. And actually the survey, the more people did the survey than I expected. When we first started, Nancy and I were talking, I said, well, how many people are actually going to want to do that while they're, touring, but actually way more people than I expected. So that was a positive. It was good to see. So, yeah, and that's all I got, and nothing else. So, move my verbal statement for information.
Any questions of Councillor Courtley? If not, all in favor? Carried. Councillor Rose?
I've attached a report. If anybody has a question on that. If not, the only other thing I'll mention, I've got a few more meetings, but I'll report on them for the next council meeting. But I wanted to go to the watershed meeting, so I'm glad you guys did. We got to be represented. But sort of last minute, they called a small meeting at, I think, Mayor Panasic's out of town, and they couldn't really get a hold of anybody, and I joined Mr. Martinson, and we met with the county and regarding the Peavine development, like the road, with the engineering company that's working with Peavine. So that was kind of good to kind of get the opportunity to sit down with everybody and see if we can, or how we can move things forward in as timely a way so that subdivision can be accessible for the next developer. So that was it. We just had a quick little lunch meeting, and I thought that it went well. It sounds like the engineering firm will kind of get on Peavine to try to move things forward and have them contact transportation. And it did sound like there might be potential that the county as well as us would be able to, maybe we'd have a three-way partnership to get it done. With, of course, I guess you say for, with the government.
Any questions on Councillor Rose's report? None? You moved it for information?
I'll move my report for information.
All in favor? Carried. What's that?
I have nothing to report.
Sorry, my apologies. Alrighty.
In camera after this one. In camera stuff. In camera line. We can take a break and get the in camera going.
A break or something.
Oh, thank you, sir. Ryan?
Hi, Chris.
We need a break or a motion or something. We need a break or a motion.
Well,
Dia.
well,
Okay,
I'll make a motion to go in.
so can I have a motion to move in camera?
No, wait, I haven't left yet.
well, hurry up. Where's the fire?
Good night, everyone, don't even say that.
Hi, Ken.
No fire.
Vern, both them switches gotta be shut off on the top of them, both them doors.
Oh, I did forget to tell council though that as part of MNSA, they will be.
Gotta wait till next week.
If you
We
don't
voted.
want to know about the GIS mapping, that's fine. Fine.
Well, you already made a motion to receive it for information, so.
It's not like you saying, we'll take that information and put it on the board. Well, come on.
I forgot.
Thank you, Vern.
We were still in conversation.
No?
I'll have it posted on there. Well, that's fine.
Councillor Courtly.
I'll make motion, we go into camera with land issues.
Okay, turn it over to